Hey everyone, this is Hannah here, and we are going over week 2, which is Beyond the Nuclear Family. So I remember when I was an undergrad and my intro sociology professor was talking about nuclear family and other family formation types. One of the examples that he gave was the Golden Girls. So the Golden Girls, except for two of them in that TV show, they are not blood relatives, right? So there's a mom and a daughter, and they're related by blood, but the other two characters are of no blood relation to any of the other characters. But the way that they interact with each other, the way they rely and support on each other, they all live together, that is how we often think about family formation, right? They're taking care of each other. And so there's an episode where Blanche has to have a surgery. She's in the hospital. And when she gets out of her surgery, she's asking for her family. And the medical professionals in the room are saying, oh, your daughter's on your way. And she's like, no, I want my girls. And they're like, yeah, your daughter's on the way. And she's like, no. She wants these other women that she lives with who are not her blood relation to be in the room with her, because that's her family. And so as we start thinking beyond the nuclear family, reading the piece, the journal article you have this week, think about what other types of family formations exist, and think about how westernized the idea of a nuclear family is, right? So if we think about local culture, right, we often refer to folks who are part of our family but who are perhaps not blood relation as Hanai family, right? And this word or a similar type word exists in many different languages. For example, my brother-in-law, his family is originally from Mexico, and in Spanish and in Mexican culture, I forget the word off the top of my head, but there's a word for family members who aren't blood relations. And so that word would essentially be the same as the word Hanai, right? And so, think about this idea of a nuclear family and how in Western culture you really have to be blood relation in order to be considered family, and yet in so many other cultures that's not the case. And when you talk to real people in Western societies such as the US and you ask them who their family is, very often it might not be their blood relations or their nuclear family, right? It is the people that they live with, the people who take care of them, the people they rely on when they're sick or upset. And so I encourage you to think about all of that as you continue reading and watching videos on material related to family formation and nuclear family. You might also start to think about, because this class is not just about family, it's also about marriage, so you may want to start thinking about non-traditional forms of marriage. So if you think about some of the legal definitions of marriage, we also have other legal concepts in the U.S., such as domestic partners, and what constitutes a domestic partnership varies within the U.S. by state. You might think about arranged marriages. You might think about polygamy. There's all different marriage relationships that exist, and so it's not just family that has certain connotations based on your culture and that sort of thing. So continue thinking about that. I would like to give folks a heads up that next week, so week 3, you will have your first major assignment due, which is your concept map. And so there's a sort of how-to guide on how to complete that assignment. You should be submitting that assignment on La Lima Sunday, week 3 at 11:55 p.m. Also coming up is some really heavy, dense theoretical stuff in week 4 and week 5. So we are going to be covering Judith Butler and Michel Foucault. And I do that because this is an upper level, 400 level class, and I want to expose students to more difficult readings. So you may want to think about reading ahead, reading some of those essays more than once so that you can use that material properly and appropriately in your discussion board posts. And then a final reminder that if you have not completed any assignment by the end of day today, Sunday, September 1st at 11:55 p.m., I will have to report you to Outreach College as a no-show. So don't put yourself in that situation because it's possible that they will automatically drop you from the class. I don't say that to scare you, but I want folks to take responsibility for their education and know that that is something that could happen. Have a great week. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me at Hannah Lee, so HANNAHLI, at hawaii.edu. Bye, guys.